we just got the very first teaser for Black Ops 6 Zombies Season 4, and in a crazy twist of events, Treyarch might be bringing back a classic game mode from Black Ops 2 Zombies in the next season, and that, my friends, is grief. The teaser is simply this from Treyarch, with 2 images with the caption, "Only one can win, #zombies," and here we have 2 emblems, if you will, one that shows Team Richtofen, where we have the Project Janus logo with Richtofen in the middle, and then another logo where we have the S.A.M AI with a different sort of faction logo behind Samantha, which is a faction icon that we have not yet seen before in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now, the caption can be open to interpretation because this doesn't fully tell us if this is grief returning or if this is a teaser towards our final DLC map, where narratively we'll be pulled in either direction, like the Easter egg quests that we saw in Black Ops 2, where you could side either with Richtofen or side with Maxis. In my own opinion, whilst having 2 sides to an Easter egg quest in the upcoming map would be fantastic, to me, that just isn't the first teaser that you would put out for a upcoming Zombies map. And I know that for many years, I've wanted to see the return of the grief game mode in Zombies, and I know a ton of you watching will want the same. And this has been a request from fans ever since Black Ops 3 Zombies, where back when Jason Blundell was at the helm of Treyarch, several interviews people asked about grief, asked about Turned, and it was only made public about a year or so ago that grief was actually planned to be in Black Ops 4 Zombies but was scrapped. So we know at least from that element that Treyarch were planning on bringing it back in that game, and Cold War probably wasn't the right game for it. So Black Ops 6 is the greatest opportunity that we've seen so far for them to bring this game mode back, and this teaser could be it. Now, I'd like to know your thoughts about this, on what you think this teaser is pointing towards. Is it pointing towards a potential 2 Easter egg endings or 2 paths to the Easter egg, or do you think this could be grief? Because I am so split on either way on what this could be, but purely from the style of these images, it does look similar to the art style of the previous limited time modes that we've seen so far in Zombies, and it does kind of look a bit like a HUD element or in-game art pop-up rather than like its own full-fledged like intel that we've seen teased before on the build-up to a new Zombies map. I could be completely wrong, and that's the beauty of the Zombies community, where we love to theorize and come up with ideas on what things could possibly be. Throughout this video, I've had gameplay of grief in Black Ops 2 Zombies, so you can see how it worked and what it looked like. But in Black Ops 2, where specifically it featured 2 factions that you played as, either on Team CIA or Team CDC. And looking at this teaser, where we clearly have 2 factions here, it could be very similar, where we have Team Richtofen and then Team S.A.M. And this mode was played on the various areas of Transit, as well as inside of Buried and on Mob of the Dead. Admittedly, this was a very bare bones game mode that definitely had potential to be expanded upon if this was ever brought back. As originally in Black Ops 2, the teams can't directly hurt each other, but they hinder each other by blocking certain pathways, luring zombies towards the other team, and then also you could physically move them by knifing them or shooting them, which also dazed them a little bit. And it was essentially a game of how long can you survive, where in the end, only one team is going to survive, where the end goal is once the players on the opposing team have all gone down, the team will win if at least one player from that team is alive and survives the rest of the round. The only other element that was added in this mode is a new power-up drop from the zombies, which was zombie flesh, which players could pick up and then throw towards other players, which would make the horde of zombies be attracted to them. We now know several years later from the development of Black Ops 2 that this zombie flesh power-up drop was actually from a completely different mode that got cut. And what's interesting about Black Ops 2 Zombies is there were so many different game modes planned for the game, where whilst round-based was the pure gameplay experience, there was also a lot of social and party modes around Zombies that would have been really fun, but we only really saw 2 of them make the light of day, which was Grief and Turned. A lot of people have been requesting this game mode since Black Ops 2. We didn't see anything in Black Ops 3, but it's clear Jason Jason Blundell tried to implement some sort of party games for Black Ops 4 Zombies with Zombie Rush, then obviously we only learned recently that Grief was planned to return in Black Ops 4, as there were additional player spawn locations for Blood of the Dead, which were the same spots as the Grief spawns back in the original Mob of the Dead. Now, we have seen a lot of limited time modes so far in Black Ops 6 Zombies, so to me, it would seem a no-brainer for Treyarch to continue that experimentation, but to actually bring back a game mode that we've seen before, but make it so much better than the original implementation. The real question is if this is all part of the Janus Towers marketing that we're getting, or is this really Grief? I just don't really know yet, and it could go in either direction, which is why I'm not really confident enough to say either way. I feel more towards this being teasers towards Grief coming back, but these could also be teasers for Janus Towers and the idea of split Easter egg quest lines, maybe even 2 Easter egg endings, which would be insane, something that we haven't seen since Black Ops 2 Buried, but could be a far more substantial way to show endings. But then it begs the question, if there's 2 Easter egg quests, then you're following either person. Wouldn't you be following either person throughout all of the Easter eggs? Hence how you'd get a super Easter egg like Buried, where you followed all the quest lines for Maxis and got an ending, or you followed all the quest lines for Richtofen and got an ending. Perhaps instead of it being multi-map, it's just for this final map where there could be differences depending on who you listen to and who you follow. Until we get more teasers, we just can't be 100% sure either way, but it does confirm that we are getting new Zombies content in Season 4, regardless if it is actually the new map for Season 4 launch, or if it's going to be something different like Grief, like we're seeing potentially teased in these images. If it is Grief, I would like to think that this would stay as a permanent mode inside of Black Ops 6 Zombies and wouldn't be an LTM, something this important, this iconic. There's no way they would bring it back just to get rid of it again. But I'll keep you guys in the loop as soon as we get more teasers and more information about this, as we are less than 2 weeks away from Season 4 launching, and we got teasers yesterday that showcases the return of the Stitch operator, which is a pretty shocking reappearance, as everyone assumed that he died in the Season 6 cutscene for Black Ops Cold War, where it was very clear that Adler shot him, but turns out that he didn't actually fully kill him, and instead he's being used as an insurance policy for when the Black Ops operatives would potentially need him. And in this case, they're using him to help decode a Soviet cipher, which is very, very fascinating. And within that trailer, there's also the tease of 2 weapons confirmed for Season 4, which is the LC-10 SMG, which we saw in Black Ops Cold War, as well as the FFAR, which was another assault rifle that we saw in Black Ops Cold War. So there's a chance that a majority of the season will be Black Ops 1/Black Ops Cold War themed, which completely goes against the idea of Grief, as that wasn't something we saw until Black Ops 2, but it's arguably one of the most iconic game modes that isn't round-based inside of Black Ops Zombies, so would make sense for it to come back. But I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Are you team Grief, or are you team Janus Towers teaser? Let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed, smash that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe and keep the bell tick for more. I'll see you soon.